Hey friends. Hi friends. Yo, good morning. What's happening, friends?
Is it Nick School? It is
Nick School. Welcome in. Hey, DJ AJ's here. What's up, DJ AJ? Namaste. We've got Shorty Crypto in the house. What's happening? Zumzy 666. Bongali first needs to be mentioned. The champion. Good morning, everyone. I actually have a new emote. So you might have to refresh in order to turn it on. But that's Pet the Poppy. Made it myself. Hey, you guys. What's up, everybody? So, before the stream started... Excuse me, I got breakfast in my teeth. Before the stream started, I actually got the death counter to work. That's what we were working on yesterday. And yeah, I got it working. So let's go ahead and explore it. And you guys can tell me how to improve it, if it needs improvement. And yeah, let's get right into it, shall we? So, where we last left off was we were spawning like a void behavior. So what we're going to do is ignore these hearts right now. The hearts actually don't do anything. But if we take a look at our basins, I added some new mechanics. So we're going to look at them one time, then kind of play through it, and I'll show you how it works. And lastly, I want to remove all three of these quests. We're going to explore, trying to make a quest around it. And so I'm going to start from scratch with that. So, with these basins, a couple things. They're waiting to spawn blocks. So they all have a behavior that allows them to spawn a particular block. And each of these basins spawns a different block that damages the player. Or, I'm sorry, just damages in general. It can damage anything, or anyone. And so I picked 3 blocks, and I used 2 red corrupting blocks. So if you've played the Game Maker or Alpha in general, you'll know what I'm talking about, the red corruption blocks, as well as the lava. And so these void behaviors, let me backtrack, these multi behaviors. So that's the name of the behavior that spawns blocks. It's called multi. So these multi behaviors are waiting for a message, heart.void. So when the player dies, it's sending out a message, heart.void. And so all of these basins have a multi behavior that is waiting for the message heart.void. However, when the basin is destroyed, because it's spawning a destructible block that can destroy, each one of these basins is only weak to one of those 3 blocks. And so when the first one's destroyed, which needs a lava block, it's sending out a message that turns on, it toggles the behavior for the next block. So basically, when the first Heart 1 basin is destroyed, it's allowing this multi-behavior to turn on, and this basin only is destroyed by corrupted blocks. You following me? Hey, good morning, Halfd0rk. Welcome in. I figured out how to do the death by 3, or game over by 3 deaths. And so I'm walking through it right now. Pulled another all-nighter. Well, Halfd0rk, I'm actually rested today. So I'm coherent. I will siphon some of my energy to you. There you are. Enjoy the energy boost that I've given you. And so each of these basins toggles. So it's the behavior of the multi. So this is the multi behavior. Spawns blocks. Halfd0rk, thanks for the sub, dude. We have fun here while we can. So the multi behavior. Again, this is something I haven't actually used much, where it's spawning blocks. It turns on when the previous basin is destroyed. So now that it's on, this basin is now waiting for that same message, the heart.void, which only goes out when the player is killed or, dies. Drakusha, what's happening? Cute emote. How are you? And so when this basin hears the message of heart.void, which is basically the player dying, it too will spawn blocks. And these blocks, the corrupted blocks, destroy anything around it. And when it destroys itself by spawning blocks that hurt it, it's going to turn on the last basin, the last spawning block that is also carrying the ball. So there's actually a lot of steps here, and I should probably write up like a little tutorial because it's a little bit complicated, but I got it to work. So let's go ahead and play through it, and then we'll just kind of talk through it again. And then if you have questions, I would love to hear them because that'll help me kind of reinterpret what's happening. So
Good question.
Good question. So the first thing we should look at is we have a ball and 3 basins. It's like a cylinder. So when the ball hits the ground, this green target right here, when it hits the ground, it's going to cause the defeat screen. So we lose. So every time we die, which I have a lava pool right here, it's spawning a particular damaging block, which allows the ball to fall into the next basin. And so now that we've died once, it's essentially destroyed one of the 3 basins. The one that was destroyed turns on the behavior for the next one. And so now when we die again, it's destroyed the second basin. And then lastly, when we die a 3rd time, it destroys the 3rd basin, causing the game over screen. Boom. Hey, Go West. What's up, dude? Welcome in. So, yeah. I mean, we got it to work. This was something I kind of slept on, and if you ever have a problem and you go to bed, like your subconscious kind of like works through it, Yo, George, what's up, Gangelis? How you doing? So, let's kind of walk through it again. Because I want to try and be able to discuss what's going on. So we have a ball. This is where we start. The ball has a tag called defeat.ball. When the ball hits the ground, it's sending out a message. The message being that the ball is detected and it sends out the defeat. The defeat message is actually received Thought I had a different message with the defeat on it. Defeat. Like, I'm pretty sure. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here we go. So I have a another asset right here that is waiting for the defeat message, and there's actually a component called defeat, which is somewhat strange, but that's what causes the defeat screen, is a component called defeat, much like there's a victory component that allows you to essentially beat the game too. So what happens is the ball hits the ground and it sends out defeat as a message. So it's detecting our ball. The ball has gravity, so it's falling inside of each of these basins. And then when it finally hits the ground, it sends out the defeat message that is received by this asset right here that just defines like, oh, okay, the defeat message was received, end game. And so now let's talk about all the things in the middle. We have our basin here that has two components and it has two tags. I could probably simplify this a bit, but for now, we'll just look at it. All of these basins have two tags, basin and heart.void. So the first thing to note is that when the player dies, it's sending out the message heart.void. It's sending it to all of the tags that say heart.void. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and simplify this as we're talking about it. So instead of heart.void, we're going to do basin. So all of the basins are receiving this tag or this message. And I'm just going to remove the heart.void because I think that complicates things. It also doesn't help me in terms of like talking through it. So let me take a look here real quick. And we're going to change the message so it's much more clear. So this is the part of game development that I need to improve on, is like going back and fixing things. So like going back and reorganizing. Usually when I get something to work, I just kind of slide it under the rug. And so, you know, you got the big unknown mechanics going on. Yo, VOX, what's happening? How are you? And yes, Zumzy, fantastic suggestion. I think we will add that as soon as I'm comfortable with the logic. And so I want to be able to discuss it. I think discussing it and kind of verbally just, you know, showing you what's going on, like I'll be able to then add on to it, because the quest we'll add the quest afterwards. So what we want to do is we want this to be the basin multi. Well, I want it to be clear. So we'll do spawn. We could do avatar.death. I think that makes sense. So basically when the player dies, this message is going out to multiple things. But right, for now, all we want it to do is send avatar.death to anything with the basin tag. So now we're going to go through each of these, and we're going to change the heart.void to avatar death. And then I'm going to walk through the entire thing. So right now you guys are kind of getting like the the rough draft. I want to have a final draft that I can share with anyone that asks. So this is the block for the void broadcaster. So we'll see what breaks real quick. Hey, yo. Okay, so everything seems to be working. Let's just go through it one more time in the game. So every time you jump off to your death into the lava pool, I should actually just put a lava pool right here. Alright, so looking at these basins, the player dies. when the player dies, it's sending out a message to activate the block spawner. The block spawner is spawning lava blocks. Now that we've died, let's die one more time, and you'll notice it's spawning a different block. So each one of these basins can be destroyed by a different block. And so the third block spawns a third block, or the third death spawns a third block. And that third block kills the final basin, which causes the ball to finally drop to the ground, detecting and sending out the defeat message, which ends the game. So that's the concept that we finally got to work. And I did that right before starting the stream. Ooh, Zumsy, that's a good suggestion. Yeah, we can add like a 1-up kind of. So to do that, we'll need a fourth basin that essentially spawns underneath all of these. But that is something I want to write down for us to explore today, because that does sound like a fun mechanic. But happy April 8th, everyone. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Oh. Today's Friday, right? So if you didn't know, on Fridays I play Dungeons & Dragons with a couple other of the Sandbox community members. We have PandaPops90, Lucas is right, King of Crypto, Game Dizzy, and The Vision X, aka Joseph. But in about 7 hours, we play Dungeons & Dragons together on my stream. I generally will not be interacting with chat, but everyone who is in the party might be like typing, texting to you. So let's go ahead and make sure this works. Let's make sure we're happy with everything that we see here.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker.
The Force is with you.
You are not a Jedi yet.
So each of these hearts actually represents our Basin 2, and we can do something with them. But we have a couple things going on here. So again, just as a recap. 9A7A! What's up? You ready to take over?
Chief, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky.
Try to take over the world. So, again, we have a ball with the defeat.ball tag. When the defeat ball.tag hits the ground, it's sending out the defeat message. It's essentially waiting to be detected, this asset here. And then this invisible asset, we can, put it on its ground, on its side here. And that represents the defeat component. So, hits the ground, sends out defeat message. This asset is actually destroying any of the blocks that are spawned. So it's sending out a void message, being this one here. So we have a void component that will destroy any of the damaging blocks. So I called it lava void. We should change it to damage. Wait, lava void makes sense. We'll keep it lava void. Karatros, welcome in, sir. And or madam. But thanks everybody for joining me today. We're actually talking about death mechanics and how we can, add this custom kind of death counter to our game. And so let's just walk through it one time in game. So every time the player dies, it's going to be destroying one of these basins. And how it destroys it? Well, it's spawning blocks that deal damage. Each one of the basins uses a different block that deals the same amount of damage. So that one spawned lava. This one spawns a corrupted block, which kills it. And then lastly, we have a third block, another meta version, that when it dies and the ball hits the ground, causes the game over screen. Keep your top shot. I didn't even try. That was yesterday during my streaming time. Yeah, didn't even try it. Would love to hear if anybody had success. Unfortunately, with these land sales, it's more or less either botted, and bots will always find a way. It's unfortunate. Like they're trying. Sandbox is giving it everything they can to make sure, you know, real people get these lands. So it's either botted or it's bought by flippers, like people that are just trying to make a quick buck. You know, everyone here more or less wants land to use it. And so it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Lucas has 31? That's insane. Well, that's what happens when you're, you know, in the space for a year or so. Lucas, I know, has been like an ambassador for quite some time. That's, well, good for Lucas, dude. Good for Lucas. If anything, what you can do is you can maybe reach out to Lucas and say like, hey, can I, you know, use your land? Will you publish my experience? You know, maybe I can pay you like 100 sand a month or something. Like if he has 30 lands, he's probably, you know, probably going to do something like that where he's, you know, loaning out the lands. Obviously, he'll still own them. But... Mr. Crypto Beard, welcome in. How you doing, Mr. Crypto Beard? Today, we're exploring this mechanic of adding basins that represent the player's lives. And so each one of these basins is a different life. And the suggestion was to have, by Zumzy666 here in chat, was to have an extra life that spawns when we pick up an item. So what we'll do is we'll have one of these hearts here, which these 3 hearts each represent one of the basins, so I won't adjust them. In fact, what I'll do is I'll use a different item altogether. I'll use the victory trigger. That when the player picks it up, we're going to have a new basin spawn. And that basin is going to be just above our defeat item. So this will be basin 4. And we named each of these defeat basin. So we'll do defeat basin 4. In fact, it's probably easier if I just duplicate it rather than start from scratch, and we can take a look at each of the behaviors. So this one here, it's going to wait for the same message, avatar.death, to spawn blocks that can kill it. The blocks this one will use, because we did lava, corrupted, and then like a different version of corrupted. So 3 different blocks. This one we can use the lava again, because the lava was this one up here. And we can see inside this green radius here that it won't, you know, touch this one that also can be destroyed by lava. See a Lambro. Yo, the Lambro. I picked one up. Made sure to get good and green. But our basin here is waiting for the avatar.death. So whenever the player dies, it's spawning blocks. However, it's also not going to toggle until we have an item here that, when picked up, causes the player to have an extra life. So this might actually be complicated in a way, because we don't want it to be turned on until the ball is inside of it. So Zumzy, you have thrown a wrench into my logic. But this is good. Now we can, you know, improve the mechanics that we've created. So the player will be picking up this object. It's going to be a collectible. We're calling it a 1-up. So basically, when the player picks it up, it's going to be causing our basin here to spawn in this roundabout location. In fact, I'll use a number pad for this. So this will be the 1-up spawn. And all it will have is a 1up.spawn tag. What's up, Bria? How's it going, Eric? Hey, you guys! Have a nice day, I hope. Good morning. Bria, are you submitting to the Dead Mouse competition? And this goes for anyone out there. You still have a day. I thought it was today, but apparently we have one more day. The 9th. But I've been working on something. So I'll be submitting to that. And then there's several other contests going on. There's like the Easter contest. Oh, the Sandstorm and the Vox edit. Fantastic, Bria. Show my submission. Bongali, it'll be a surprise. But because you asked, Bongali, I'll show you what I started on. And I'm only going to show a brief variant. Here it is. So, what I wanted to do, I actually won't even tell you what I wanted to do, but I basically have a portable dead mouse here. I'm going to add some more color to it. It will have an animation. Boo! What do you mean, boo? But yeah, he's just a portable DJ. So that's what I was working on. And yeah, I still got another 24, oh wait, no, like almost 36 hours. So that's enough time, right? Should work on stream. I could, Bone Golly, but I really enjoy talking through Game Maker stuff. Do I have a Dead Mouse head? Yes, DJ EJ, as soon as the contest was announced, I bought from the floor. However, Dead Mouse heads in general are not a hot commodity. So they've actually stayed relatively the same price. Okay, so our new mechanic, we're picking up a 1-up item that when we pick it up, a couple things will happen. It'll say like 1-up. Ooh, okay, good. I know how we can make this work. It should work, you know, the same as everything else. So it's essentially going to turn on 4th. It's going to be the last option. So we're going to use heart.3.basin. So it won't even turn on until this 3rd basin is destroyed. So the 3rd basin, when it dies, sends out that heart.3. And it's sending it to any of the basins. So when that message goes out, it's received by this one, which turns it on. So it turns on the behavior of the multi-block. But as we can tell, it's optional. It's outside of the usual 3 deaths. So what we'll do is we can have a way to spawn it here inside of these 4 cylinders. And in order to do that, we're going to make an anchor point. I actually use anchor points a lot because... Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Anchor points allow us to essentially add more behaviors, add more components to an object, because it's acting as kind of like a limb or a parent. That's pretty much what it is. It's a parent of an object. So this one, when we pick up the 1UP item, it's sending a message to this number pad. So this number pad is waiting for the 1UP. 1UP1. We'll do 1UP.1. Because you can, in fact, do more than 1UP. But for the sake of this kind of walkthrough, we're only going to have one. But when we collect it, when we pick it up, it's going to send out the message 1UP.1. We'll also give it a sound. We can see congratulations, sure. So it's sending out the message 1UP.1, which is destroying our anchor, which is going to be this number pad. And the anchor is going right here. So it's essentially going to spawn this entire parent-child. So we can go ahead and parent those together. So down here, we have our number pad, which will do 1UP anchor. And we're going to attach the basin to it. So that when this number pad's killed, it's going to be spawning it right here. And that is in line with the rest of our ball basins. So the last thing we'll want to do is double check what tag we used. 1UP.spawn, all capitalized. And so we'll do death event, respawn to tag. Respawn tag is 1UP.spawn. And yeah, I think that's pretty much set up. Lastly, because it's going to be our last life, because it's a 1UP, it's an optional life. It's going to be 4th in this line, and it will turn on only when this 3rd one is destroyed. So that makes sense, right? Instant death. We can also give it a little bit more customization later by having its own custom death message. But everything looks correct. Let's see if it works. So when I pick this up, it's destroying that one. Ooh. So this happened the other day with my glider. The parent hierarchy wasn't working properly. Because we parented it. Like, this is parented right now. So when this item is destroyed, it's supposed to destroy both of them. And this happened when I was trying to make this glider, and I had to reset the game maker. That's so weird. So I'm going to exit and come back in. And if that doesn't work, well, then I'm stumped. But yeah, since the new update, which, is it really an update? They basically just added Mac. It's, some things have been breaking, which is unfortunate. Like, we can't do shift click right now, which is kind of frustrating. So again, when we destroy this, it's supposed to destroy both of them because they're parented together. As an example, I have this object here that is parented together, that when I reset the glider, yo, there's like some serious bugs going on with GameMaker. We actually had this working yesterday. Well, that's frustrating. So now our glider's not even working. Oh, I have it at destroy. It needs to be reset. So we can see that the parent hierarchy is working right now. So we're picking up this glider that has several objects attached to it. The only thing that's dying is this little dot right here. That's what I'm picking up. However, it's waiting for this one message, which is destroying the parent of this entire operation. And so we wanted the same thing to be going on with this object so that we can use it. See what happens when I just destroy it and pick up. Okay, so it works with destroy. But it's not working with respawn. That's interesting. Why? So it's literally destroying this basin with only the destroy of health component. But it's not destroying it with the respawn to tag. What about reset? So reset should work. So another thing we can do, because we're going to need a workaround for this, is we can move it. So we can have it to where, instead of it respawning, we can have it platform into position. Let's see if platform works before I continue. So even though this object is parented, it's not platforming, which is very strange to me. It might, VOX. I don't know. It was working with particular death events, so it's not that it's broken. Perhaps like this never worked, respawn to tag. Reset works, which is what I used on my glider in not only this example, but also in my game. I used reset. Didn't I? I think so. So yeah, respawn to tag doesn't work with this parented structure. So I like problems like this because it means I have to solve them. And I think we can solve it. I think this is solvable. Ooh, I wonder what the door component will look like. So I haven't used this function much at all, so I'm curious to see if it'll work. But the rotate around pivot, I want to see how that interacts. So we'll do a rotate based on the 1-up, and we're going to remove the health component for now. Let's see what happens when I pick this 1-up. It's supposed to rotate. Okay, so it rotated it, but not on like a wide pivot. So it wasn't wide enough. Maybe that's because this is so close to it. I don't think that'll make a difference, though. That might be used for something else, though. I'll keep that in mind for a different mechanic. Let's see, anything else we could use? Ooh. This might be fun. Because now I want to explore this new mechanic with the door. I'm going to duplicate this and set it to the side. But with our door setup, what we can do is we can use the door, which if you didn't know, when a door turns on, it makes it walk-throughable. So it actually removes the collision on it. So I'm curious to see if this will work. So what we'll do is it'll be message required, the 1-up. And so that'll open the door. And beforehand, what we'll do is we'll have it initially turned on. And so when it's initially on, that means it's initially walk-throughable. We want it to turn off when the 1-up is received. So let's test that real quick. So right now I should be able to just walk through it. No. What the? Well, when I picked it up, it moved. I didn't notice that. And it still had collisions on it. Let's look at that again. So now I'm going to look at the basin. See where it is in the air? When I pick this up, it's going to move. That's what we wanted. That's actually what we wanted. Hey, thanks for lurking, Bongali. Yeah, right now I'm kind of exploring new mechanics. I've got no shame. So same idea here. When we pick this up, it's going to move it underneath. I like that. I do like that. And so I'm curious why it's doing that. Is it because I have this door here? This play opening mechanic? If I remove that, will it do the same thing? No. So it's because I had two door components that it was able to turn off and on like that. So what I'm going to try here is having this door mechanic. And then I'm going to turn off for testing this one. See what happens when I pick this up. So nothing happened. So it's because I had two door mechanics working together that it was able to pivot. That's so weird. Nervex, what's up? Like, I can't really explain why that's happening, so I want to kind of look into it more. So these two door behaviors are interacting in a way that allows it to pivot. So this one was using an animation. Let's see if this still pivots. It does still pivot. And we like that. We want that. So that's so interesting. Maybe not to you. But this is great for our 1-up kind of idea. So it turns itself on an axis when we pick up that 1-up. And if you weren't here earlier, what that means is we now have a fourth basin for our ball to fall through. And so every time we die, we can see a basin is removed. So this third basin. Oh, that's interesting. So because of our door behavior, it made it to where there's no collision. So if I were to pick this up, it causes our basin here to be... Oh yeah, we turned it off. I remember now. We have the toggle behavior on it to where it turns off. Don't we? Yeah, toggle behavior right here. So if I turn that off, just remove it.
Let me give you a hug.
Solar-G, what's up? Welcome in. I'm trying to make new mechanics happen. So I apologize if this isn't like super interesting. To me it's interesting. And you're just along for the ride. Welcome along. So we're checking to see if the ball will fall through it. It does still fall through it, which is a little bit confusing to me. Because me personally, I'm still colliding with this object. In both versions. So, oh wait, now I'm not colliding with it. Interesting. Sounds good, 9A, 7A. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, Solar-G, if there's any questions you might have about game making, I am Halfd0rk. I won the first place for the game jam for the Fun Guys. So it was a Fun Guy game jam. I won with my game called Fungus Among Us. So those of you that don't know what Fungus Among Us is, check this trailer out. Oh, nice, Solar-G. Well, Nervex, thanks for introducing us. Nervex here. I will be revisiting their game that he made with Iziology of Metatron. Congrats on first. Thanks, Solar-G. But this was one of Nervex's assets. I'm going to make it do things. Wait, that sounds wrong. I'm going to make it an NPC in my game. I'm going to make it do things. It's a robot. If you told a robot to rob a bank, are you responsible? I guess so. Okay, so the starting state is closed. We want this basin to rotate into position. And when it does so, we want it to be turned on. Let's see if this works. Okay, I'm colliding with it now. We just saw that I wasn't able to collide with it before. And so every time the player dies, it's destroying one of the basins. And it's destroying it by spawning blocks that deal damage. And so this last one, the ball finally sits inside the basin. Perfect. So now what we want to do is make this fourth basin also destroyable. So we've added a fourth life to this mechanic. And that was because we picked up the 1-up. Cool. Okay, so that means that the health component on our basin will be destroyed depending on blocks. So we want the blocks that will destroy it to be lava. Because if you were paying attention, we had lava destroyed the first one. Red corruption destroyed the second one. Black with red corruption destroyed the third one. So based on that order, we're going to have lava destroy this fourth one, this optional one. And so we're going to have a new mechanic here that spawns lava when the player dies a fourth time. So essentially, we're going to be recreating this basin here, which I'm going to just duplicate the first one and make it invisible and no collision. But its only purpose is going to be spawning lava, so we can remove everything else. And it's going to have a toggle behavior on it. So the toggle is what's going to turn on the lava spawner. So initially, it's going to be off, and it's waiting for the third basin to die. So when this third basin is destroyed, it's sending out a message. So we can look at its health component here. When this third basin is destroyed, it's sending out the message, Halfd0rk. Well, Solar-G, thanks for that subscription. Welcome in. We got emotes for days, dude. Which, by the way, speaking of emotes, everyone, I added this one recently. Yo, Halfd0rk, coming in hot. Thanks, dude. Thanks for the sub. Welcome in, everyone. If you subscribe, I've got awesome, epic emotes. Check them out. Solar-G just wants to use the NervX command. Well, if you're a friend of NervX, I'll make an exception. So I'll add your name to the custom use function for that. If I can find you. I'll just allow all subscribers to use that for now. Yo, Toby Nalan, what's up? NervX is the best. His brother. Oh, you're his brother? Wow. I'm learning more about NervX. But welcome in, Toby. How you doing? Okay, so when our third basin is destroyed, it's going to be sending out a message, Halfd0rk.3.basin. That message is saying the third basin was destroyed. So that will turn on this fourth basin. So the fourth basin is this invisible one, as well as our door here, our door basin, which is a little bit convoluted, but I think it makes sense. But yeah, it's turning on when the third basin is destroyed. Let's see if that works now that I've set it up. So again, every time the player dies, it's sending out a message destroying one of the 4 basins. And it's sequentially, every time one dies, it's turning on the next one. So right now we're on our 3rd life. If I pick up this one up here, it's pivoting this basin into place. So now when I die the 3rd time, the ball is falling into the 4th basin. And I actually have one of these basins is invisible and no collisions. We can actually see it though, but only one is actually collidable with. So when we die a 4th time, it's supposed to spawn more lava. So it appears that we didn't set up the health component correctly on this 4th basin. So let's take a look. So yeah, looking at our health component here, it's waiting to receive lava blocks. However, spawning the lava, it did have the correct health component though. Interesting. I'm gonna remove this one. That was a decoy. Thanks, Vivox, for the welcoming. Educating yourself? Well, Toby, if you have particular questions, I am happy to answer those. Oh, and he's from the Metatron project. Welcome in. Loving the game that NervX and Iziology created. But if you have questions about game making, I'd love to help troubleshoot. That's like my favorite thing to do on these streams, is listen to what you guys want to learn, and then try to, you know, basically do it for you. So you can take mental notes.
Good question.
Lula Love, what's happening? Welcome in, Lula.
Lula Love 9 says no way in the chat. Yes way.
Yes way. You guys did a fantastic job. I agree. And they said they were updating the Metatron game they made, so I look forward to playing it with the new update. Alright, so what we did is we made a lava spawn. We saw that the lava pool worked. However, I believe, and this is just me theory crafting, that our basin here, because it's a door, and because it's on a weird pivot, it's actually outside the lava spawn. So we can see the green here. Like, based on this logic, I believe because it was outside originally, like it's not considered to be inside this radius. So what I'm going to do is have this anchor here have a health component that also will be destroyed by lava. So that's kind of like a failsafe in a way. So the health here, when it's destroyed, we noticed it's also destroying the basin earlier. So what we can do is we can have it be damaged by lava blocks. And we do need to reduce the damage, or the health, I should say, of each of these assets. There is a chance that, yeah, my basin just had too much health. What the? So that when lava is spawned, which I will in fact make this radius a little bit larger as well, it's going to destroy this here. I think that's set up to go. That's set up to work. So I die, first basin's destroyed. I die, second basin's destroyed. And keep in mind, this is like the player's out and about. You're kind of told as the player that, oh, I have extra lives. You know, I have 3 lives. If I die 3 times, I lose the game. And so if I were to die right now, the game would be over. But I found a 1-up out in the wild. And this is behind the scenes. This is stuff that the player will never see. But what happened was is it put this basin to catch this ball. So these are the mechanics here. It put that there to catch the ball. And so now, when I die a 3rd time, the ball will be caught again. This time by the 4th basin that had been rotated into place. And so when I die a 4th time, it's going to destroy everything in this area here. Or at least it should. But it appears that our lava here isn't being despawned, so we can't really see what's going on. And we can see it's not doing what we want it to. So I think that might have something to do with our void, maybe? So we saw that it spawned the lava. There was no problems there. I think what we need to do is also have this spawner, what is spawning the lava, to also be destroyed. Hey, we got a puppy. You guys want to say hi to the puppy? And if you have emotes, I have a poppy emote now. Hi, baby. Hi. Come here. Come here. Oh, you're so heavy. Holy moly. Hi, baby. Oh, yes. Oh, kisses. Pet the poppy. Pet the poppy. Yeah. Oh, wow. Where are you going? You got burps? She doesn't like the light, I don't think. Okay, let's go. Anything else? Anything else? Okay, here we go. We're going. We're leaving. Let me take you with me. She's so cute. Long story short, she has anxiety when nobody's in the room with her. Scooby-Doo laugh! DJ EJ, you can use this command. As well as any VIPs are able to use it. Hey, Beach! What's up, Beach? How did you get that name? That's awesome. Oh, you've been here a while. I just clicked your name. You've been on in the space since 2007. But welcome in, dude. So today we're exploring how to make some mechanics. Yeah, Beach. If you haven't been here before, my name's Halfd0rk. Welcome in. I like to use the Game Maker to explore fun new mechanics all around this map here. So before I show you, I gotta remember what was breaking. What broke? Alright, so let's just explore real quick everything on my map. What we've been working on today is a death mechanic. So the death mechanic, every time we die, we can see that one of these kind of like basins here is catching a ball. The ball, when it hits the ground, will cause the defeat screen. So this is our third death. We've died 3 times. The ball hits the ground, game over. So we were working on that today. Also, yesterday we made this, a glider, so that when we grab it, we can jump off and we can fly. But we're slowly descending. And if you keep jumping, you'll be able to, keep momentum going. So Beach, anyone can just start creating. I'm using this software called Game Maker. So you do not need to have land in order to do what I'm doing right now, where you're just kind of playing with the mechanics of, what's in the sandbox. This is something they don't really advertise much. And I'm not sure why Sandbox, staff is like this. I think they just assume people know. But like user submitted content, everything that we're doing right now is completely free to play. Like you can make user submitted content, you can play user submitted content. And so right now we're creating, we're making cool mechanics. So I've made this glider here. And this guy is a necromancer. So when we approach him, he's spawning these undead every like 3 seconds. And so these are the types of mechanics we're just kind of exploring and looking at behind the scenes. So elsewhere on the map, we've got these 2 cats here, one of which will follow me. So this cat in particular just wants to, be my friend. He's a companion. I think we set it up to where he'll attack things. Yeah. So we set it up to where this cat will follow us and then attack things that have the tag of, hostile. And so he should follow us again. We might have to work on that. It looks like he doesn't like that I'm attacking him. And then over here, I set this guy up to where when you approach him, he's going to spawn like a damage square, much like an MMO. And so this needs a lot more fine-tuning. But when you get in range, it's kind of creating this effect on the ground that if the player was standing in it, it deals 10 damage to them. And obviously you would use like a little explosion rather than this triangle here. What else did we make? We made Dorksalite. So if you've played the alpha, you'll know what this is. Where if you pick this up, it causes a little explosion and it adds it to your inventory. This is neat. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Beach. Decentraland, I tried it a couple times, and every time I tried it, it just, it didn't work for me. I tried to play with friends, for example. I tried to meet a friend, and we just couldn't find each other. We did everything we could to try and find each other. This was another feature that was in the Snoop Dogg experience, which was playable all last month, that when you were like exploring, there were these glowing things called hidden blunts. And so when you picked one up, it removed the glow, but like it would have this dialogue up on screen. And so we recreated that. And the last thing I'll show you was this mechanic here. I made a little puzzle. So let's say the player found these numbers out in the middle of nowhere. You had a red 1, a green 2, a blue 3, and a purple 4. Red 1, green 2, blue 3, purple 4. I had an NPC up here that when you talk to him would be like, hey, have you seen some numbers? So Andy Ritchie says, have you seen any numbers lying about? I think they have something to do with these crystals behind me, chat. And I say, yeah, I saw some numbers. What was the number we should input into the red block? I think it was a 3. Oh no, I got it wrong. So he says the puzzle reset. That must have been the wrong answer. But when I get them right, so red 1, it's going to illuminate using the logic behind the scenes that we put in the correct number. And it was a blue 3? Yeah, that's correct. So it's illuminating, showing that we got it right. Purple was a 4, got it right. And if we get it wrong, it's going to reset the puzzle, and we have to talk to him again. Whoops. So when we talk to him again, and this time we'll input the correct numbers. Red 1, blue 3, purple 4, and green 2. When we complete the puzzle, all the lights remain illuminated, and we can no longer talk to him. So we've already completed the puzzle. So that was that, and what we've been working on the last day or so. I made these elevators here. That when we're up at the top, we can see the current things we're working on. Customized lighting or some kind of ambiance. Yeah, there's a way to fake it right now. They did promise, some more ways to add ambience as well as take away the natural fog. So if I'm looking over here, everything kind of has like this light haze to it. They kind of hinted at they're going to have a way to toggle that. But for now, you can fake it using the rarity VFX. So I'll show you how that looks. But yeah, what we're working on today is kind of like this death component. Yeah, SSK Wolf. Let me show you real quick. I'll show you after we check out this lighting component. Oh yeah, we also had all of these down here. This is basically my game mechanic test map, which is great because I can show you guys, ways to make new things. So this this Lamborghini, this Lambro, we can use it for this example. We'll add a component. This component is going to be our fake light source. So the rarity VFX is going to use whatever rarity an object is. So what I'll do is I'll put this down on the ground so it's out of the way. We'll put it underneath our puzzle here. So down on the ground, we can now look at its rarity VFX. We'll notice that it has a color that is locked. So maybe in the future they'll unlock it to where we can pick. But because this Lamborghini is a legendary, so we can see this orange border around it, that means that any VFX that is displayed is going to also be orange because that's its rarity. So let's find some other objects that have different rarity. So for example, this Alpha Sword. It has a purple epic rarity. So if I click it, we can see it's got the epic in a purple shade. So if we were to add the rarity VFX, we'll notice that it has a color of epic. And so when you hop into the Game Maker, you're going to have some default, like free assets. So let's look at another example would be like this boulder here. So this boulder, if we add the rarity VFX to it, it's going to be common. It's going to have a gray, which is basically a normal light, And so what we'll do is each of these assets will make invisible and we'll remove the collision so the player can just walk through the light. So we'll make it invisible and each one will remove the collisions. And so because we added the rarity VFX. It's basically a fake light source. And you can position these in multiple different ways. So like you can rotate it. You can, place them together. Like you can place them adjacent to each other. And it all depends on the size of the object. So for example, the Lamborghini here, this entire border is the collision of the Lamborghini itself. But we're able to walk through it because we turned off the collision. It's just using that information. But yeah, I hope that gives you a good idea of, how to make a fake light source. So for example, like we can rotate this boulder and place it up on this section here. And maybe this Lamborghini can be underneath this right here. Which I did actually set up a little bit of a fake light right here. So we'll take a look at that. I'll use my glider to get there. Whee! Very neat. Thanks, Dark-Hyra. And so, yeah, that's the Lamborghini right there. But because it's fake, because we're not colliding with it, and because it's invisible, the rarity VFX is just acting as a fake light source. And so you can position it in certain ways. Like you can see those white lights I have hanging there. I used an actual light asset, and then I put things inside where the bulbs would be. So it looks as though the bulbs are turned on. But all they are like little mushrooms that have the rarity VFX on them. And then over here, we saw I put the boulder like inside of the... I rotated it and placed it inside of this tree branch. And then you also have like glowing assets. So you can make these in box edit, which is crucial to making an experience, is you make the assets using the Sandbox software and you import them into Game Maker. And so someone had made these lights, which I bought from the marketplace for I think like 3 sand. So like less than $10. And these lights have an animation on them. You can see they're slowly swinging. But they're glowing. So somebody had made this kind of like soft glow in box edit, which isn't very difficult to do. But like I bought them because of the animation. And yeah, good example, I hope. And so now SSK Wolf asked us to demonstrate our 3 death kind of component here. So let's just play through it real quick. So SSK Wolf, if you noticed, I've got a 4th barrel here. We'll look at that later. But inside of my basins, these 3 right here, trying to get a better angle. I have a ball inside. So this ball, when it hits the ground, it causes the game over screen. So that means that each one of these basins is destroyed when the player dies. And all of this would be done behind the scenes. The player isn't going to know, about this ball in the basin trick that I kind of came up with. So if the player dies, and I use this lava pool here, when it dies, it's spawning lava. The lava deals damage. And each one of these basins is spawning the thing that kills it. So the second time I die, it's going to spawn a different block that deals damage, thus killing the next basin. So what's happening is the logic is the first basin is destroyed, which turns on the ability to destroy the second one. And then when the second one's destroyed, it turns on the ability to destroy the third one. And so now that the third one is turned on, it's going to spawn blocks that destroy it. Thus, the ball falls, causing the game over screen. And so, what we were working on today was I added a 1-up. So this was a suggestion by our friend Zumzy here in chat. Zumzy has a command. Nani? Nani? That was loud. Anyway, when you pick up the 1-up, it rotates this basin into place. And so now we have to die 4 times in order to get the game over screen. And so each time I die, it's basically turning on the ability to destroy the next one. And I think we stopped here. We'll see if this basin destroys itself. So my lava isn't working on this fourth one. So that's where we ended before we, moved on. So now I get to figure out why it's not destroying it. So we're waiting for the lava.void command. Oh, okay. I already figured it out. This lava.void we removed. It's now using avatar.death. And so this will remove the lava. We also want this to be destroyed. And so it can die to lava. That's fine. What we can also do is have it destroy specifically number pad, but we'll come back to that. I don't know if I fixed it. Let's find out. Also, I'm going to try and speedrun these. I wonder if I can just die in rapid succession. It doesn't look like it's working properly now. The ball is stuck in there somewhere. So I think I did actually need the lava void. But yeah, what we're trying to solve now is causing the fourth basin to turn on specifically when we've already destroyed the third one. So this is where we got caught. The third basin destroys itself. And then when the player dies a fourth time, it's trying to destroy the fourth basin. The fourth basin, the ball is currently resting in after we got the one up. So, yeah, we're going to have to find a unique solution for that. So that's what we're going to be spending our time on. But if anybody has questions, I'm happy to get distracted for you. I will distract myself for you. Ooh, okay. So this basin also needs to be destroyed when lava spawns. And we'll reduce the radius a bit. And yeah, we also want this one to be destroyable to lava. Good morning, Sparky! Feeling like an 11 today?
Really, on a scale of 1 to 10, you are an 11.
What up? So the lava void is sending out a particular message that is destroying the lava, as well as any other tag. And so that's all attached to this little purple thing here. And it's destroying our lava. So we saw it was flickering, and that's because what was... Oh! I'm saying oh as if I know what I'm talking about. But this spawner here, what spawned the lava, we saw it flicker. And so what's going on is the lava is respawning simply because our multi-behavior didn't have a health component. I just now added that health component to where it's dying to lava. We'll see if this works. So again, grabbing the 1-up rotates this basin into place, serving as a fourth life. So every time we die, it's destroying one of our lives. The lives are represented as the basins. And so each time a basin is destroyed, the ball falls again. And each of the basins is weak to a particular block. And so that's how we were able to, prevent all 4 of the basins from being destroyed. And so this is our last hope here, as we die. And so right now, nothing is being destroyed, even though there's lava. So that's where we're stuck. We have it to where it's weak to lava. We could, instead, put a fake object here that, when it's destroyed, also will remove our basin. So this is just me kind of like testing potential solutions. But I'm going to have a heart here that, when it's destroyed, it's sending out a message, Halfd0rk, that will essentially destroy the basin instead of the lava. So we're looking now at our fourth basin. When Halfd0rk is received, it will destroy it. And lava will destroy it. Let's see if this works. But everything else currently works. It's just this fourth basin. We're trying to figure out how to make it destroy itself. So again, this last basin is now going to catch the ball. We noticed that when the ball hits the ground, that's when game over happens. So fourth one, the lava kills the heart, causing the game over screen. So we found a workaround. Well, Sparky Snickle, I am glad to report that I slept through the GMA, and my sleep schedule is back to relative normal, but we'll see. Could you address the asset itself? Buying the Void? So the last asset, for whatever reason, was not destroying itself in the Void. I see what you're saying, though. And what we can do is we can take a look. Let's take a look, because that's an option. So what we'll do is we'll look into asset destruction. Mongali got himself a creator coin. Congratulations. Writing your name down. Thank you, sir. Saving. Yes, George. Thank you. So, Halfd0rk, let's take a look. Now that we're looking at the Void itself, a couple things. It can only receive one message. That message is being sent out that spawns the lava. We could, in fact, make a new Void that would only destroy the fourth one. But what we can do is now look at the asset list. And because we're using the same object, we don't want that to be our solution because we have 4 basins here. And so what you're suggesting is when we're on our 4th heart, we can have a Void that would destroy it. And so right now I have it rotating into place. And so this health heart, isn't exactly necessary, I would say. Instead, we can just have a Void specifically used to kill it. So I say we try that to see if it works. I mean, in general, I would just be replacing this heart with a Void. I could be wrong, though. So basically, the heart would just be serving as the new health for our basin here. And so what the Void would do based on your suggestion, is just remove the need for health. So what we would be doing is just replacing health with a void. If that makes sense. But yeah, the only problem I could foresee with that, because it is a solution, what you've suggested, Halfd0rk, but it also might interact with my other objects differently. So for now, I'm happy with this solution. It's not perfect. In fact, I'll probably spend some time tweaking it, especially in the next game that I might make using this function. Bongali, you're gonna redeem a meme! Oh no! That's right, Bongali, I forgot you got hacked. Just spend them. Sorry, dude. Well, I can reimburse you, Bongali. Because you, Bongali, let's be real, you've been here since, like, the early days. So, yeah, I'm happy with this. This works. Lula Love, my D&D stream is in 5.5 hours. So 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 7 p.m. UTC. And so when this stream ends, I'm basically going to prep a little bit, have some lunch, get ready for it. So if you guys like Dungeons and Dragons, I play with other Sandbox creators. I am the Dungeon Master. The Master. So before we move on, I want to show the new folks here, if they're still around. Hi, new folks. This is what we worked on like week 2 and 3. We were down here in the dungeons, and I made a little puzzle. So we spawned in here. We can see this puzzle here. It appears to be unfinished. And so this is kind of like the solution. So every time we would bring a puzzle piece up here, it would register, removing it from my hands, placing it inside of this black and white version. Yes, Vivox, master. I am the master here. And so it removes it from my hands, places one inside. And there's some tweaking that needs to be done for one. Like if you grab it from a weird angle, the pivot point is weird. So like, for example, this is not how it should work. But when we bring it up, it removes it, places it inside the puzzle. And the idea being, when the puzzle is complete, when all 4 are brought, it's going to maybe like open a door. That was the idea behind that. Yes, Sparky, it did have a detector, so that's how that works. And we can take a look at it. We haven't visited this in a while. But then we were working with doors. So I have a couple doors here. Let's take a look at this one because it's interesting. There's an RNG component. So this number pad has the bird behavior. So the number pad's rotating around in a big circle. And on the outside perimeter, so when the number pad rotates all the way out, it's detected by this other number pad that will open and shut the door. And then we had 2 other doors. This one over here, we can't enter through it normally. Instead, we have to talk to this little object here that when it opens, it animates and it sends out a message that opens the door. After 5 seconds, it closes and resets. And everybody over there doesn't really do anything. I don't think I added anything to anyone. But on this side, this one took us like 2 days, maybe more to make. The door is just a normal, like, walk through, it knows you're there. But this took us like 2 days to make. We tried to make this dragon fly in a half circle, and we could ride it. And so what was going on was there were checkpoints that every time the dragon reached a checkpoint, it would cause him to turn a new direction using the platform behaviors. Mine? And so he's also supposed to be looking, there we go, at this coin. The coin, all of these things will be invisible, by the way. But it looks like he got caught on something. He's a little bit slow. Yeah, well, we would probably recreate this, but we can take a look at it now. There's this platform that the player can stand on, acting as the dragon. The dragon itself has no collisions, but there's this like fake kind of like seating area. And so while it's flying, which it's using these little white orbs that I called after images. We call them dragon souls, actually. And so each of these dragon souls has a different kind of path associated with it. So it rotates around. Dark Lord! Yes, my lord, how are you? What WTF? How TF are you, Dark Lord? And so each one of these platform behaviors are inside of the dragon. And so the dragon itself, you know, is the bottom. It's the child, the smallest in the hierarchy. And then as it's kind of flying, it's being told to go in different directions. So here's the first direction. It goes a little bit up. And then the second direction will go more to the side. Third direction will go more to the side. Fourth direction is now going, you know, towards... It's basically making a half circle, so it's going... So that's how that worked. And yeah, that's our dungeon here. I didn't make these guys do anything. But you can see that this is a 1x1 land. Good Meridian! Hey, Rock808, welcome in. Good May, by the way. I agree, Dark Lord. It is, in fact, a good May. Ooh, Vivox, good luck with your Deadmau5 entry. Ooh, the party scene. Sparky, hope to see it. Alright, so that being said, are there any mechanics you guys would like to see before we, I don't know, watch me struggle making new things again? I'm curious what we haven't visited yet. Yo, Game Dizzy's in the house. What's happening? What up? We could hop into Fungi's, the Fungi Game Jam. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with our health, like, death component. So for those of you joining us, I'll show you real quick. So when we spawn in, we have 3 lives. All of our lives are attached to a different prison basin. That's the name of the asset, this brown bucket. So if we were to die, it removes the topmost one. And it's using block spawns to cause us to lose the prison basin. And each one of them has a different block that it not only spawns, but also destroys itself with. And so we had to do this roundabout way because every time the player dies, it's only sending out one message, one unique message. There's not like 3 different messages we can send out. So what's happening is every time the player dies, it's destroying one basin and turning on the way to destroy the second basin, and so on. And so when we die 3 total times, this ball hits the ground, causing us to lose. Game over. Ooh, similar to death trigger plates. Very cool game, Dizzy. I tried to recreate it, and this is my solution, what I came up with. And what we worked on today was we made this 1-up to where it rotates a new basin into position. And so now, we have to die 4 times in order to get the game over screen. There's 1. Here's 2. There's 3. And finally 4. Game over. And so the player never sees this. It's just what's going on behind the scenes. Game Dizzy, you got corona. Oh, dang. You too, or just family? Sorry to hear, man. Ooh, Vvox, can you drop a tweet for us that we can click? Yeah, get well soon, dude. So everything else, I'm pretty happy with. But we're gonna go ahead and save. And then I want to explore some new mechanics. Oh, Little Legion, what's up, dude? Thanks for the save reminder. I think over here, oh yeah, we made this. I forgot to show this off. We'll take our glider to get there. But we had made a bomb, basically recreated the TNT mushroom. So by picking up this egg, bringing it over to this wall, it's detected, and after a brief delay, it's supposed to explode. But looks like something broke. That's interesting. Let's take a look. And Vvox, thank you for sharing. Let's check it out real quick. And I think it has sound. Looks like it, so we'll play it with sound. So this is what Vvox submitted for the Dead Mouse 5 competition. Yo. The lighting looks great. And the particles. And it loops. Dead Mouse characters not included. What? That looks great. Great presentation. Nice. Love it. Check it out. Go support our friends here in the community. Love the tic-tac-toes. Yeah. And the little earring here. But you did a great job with the lighting. Good presentation. The Head 5 stage. Kitty Lucifer, what up? How you doing, Meow? How's it going, right, Meow? So let's move our platform over here so we can test why my egg wasn't working. Also, it's not snapping to the ground properly. There we go. So we'll pick up the egg, and what's supposed to happen is when we bring it to this wall, it registers that there's an egg, destroying the egg that I have holding right here. Something went wrong. Like, we made this like 2 days ago. I didn't change anything. So let's take a look. So when the egg is registered, when it's detected, it's sending out a message, dragon.explode. We even have a debugging here that says dragon.explode. So when that message is received, we have a fake one spawning. This is a fake. So we have a fake one spawning. We saw the fake one spawn, so that wasn't a problem. It looks like the void wasn't working. So let's take a look at the void. So the message required is the dragon.void, which we attached to one of these little pegs here on the wall. So it's waiting for the message, dragon.explode. When that message goes out, it's sending to tags, dragon.void. This is our dragon.void. It's waiting for the message. That's so weird. My void isn't working properly. I guess we'll have to just recreate it, see what happens. So it's detecting the dragon egg, which we saw worked. We saw it spawn the fake one. So I'm actually just going to delete this void here and re-add it. But we also didn't see these explode. So I'm going to take a look at these, and we'll see it in real time. We can see what is getting caught, like what's not communicating. So each of these little green gems in the wall are supposed to explode when we bring this egg over. So they flashed. We saw them flash just now. I think there's some sort of bug happening right now. I'm gonna exit the game and come back in. Glad to hear it, Kitty Lucifer. And yeah, After Effects will only make your presentations pop. So it's worth learning. However, there is a bit of a skill curve. So I just saved it, didn't I? We'll double save. Yeah, Rock 808 and Game Dizzy are talking about DeFi Kingdoms. Just not interested personally. Bengali, it sounds as though it's going to be distributed to everyone with a head, is what it sounds like. So if you have a head 5, it's going to be like airdropped. I imagine, because this is a sandbox competition, that anyone can use it, whatever is minted. So that might be worth noting. So, as you can tell, I didn't change anything. I just left the game maker and came back in. So, yeah, Game Maker's been a bit buggy the last couple days since the update. Yeah, Go West, as soon as the competition was announced, I made sure to buy them when they were at their lowest. Pop, pop, pop. So everything worked. And all I had to do was restart the Game Maker. I couldn't explain why that is. It's just the Game Maker bugs out sometimes. But now we can hide all our assets again. Cool. So now that we've done that, we'll save. And I think I'll spend the last of my time in Fungus Among Us. Or if anybody has a game they want us to try. Like if Halfd0rk, if you're still here, I would love to play your game. Try and replay it. The Meta Leagues. Because I know a couple friends of Halfd0rk popped in, as well as... Or not Meta League, I'm sorry. Metatron. So I believe it's in here. Ooh. That's a face. 122? Oh, Toby's here too? Cool. Let's check it out. Ancient coin. Nope, nope, nope. Did I miss it? Here we go. Meta City. Metatron City. Alpha version 1.6. You've been sent here as part of our scout program. Your mission is to discern the progress of the dictatorship. This is a long game, so I'm going to be speedrunning it. So, in general, it might just take too long to read everything. But it's got some great lore attached to it. In fact, one of the first quests you get to do is learn more about the world around you. Saged, what's happening, dude? Well, Nervex, hopefully, you know, what I do now might help with that. Happy to help. Alright, Terra Prime. How can I help? Hey, look, it's Toby. Toby's in this game. Which, by the way, Nervex, I didn't mention, I love your cameo as well. Your cameo was perfect. Beep boop. Alright, time to research. And so, there's a lot of lore here. I hope all of you get a chance to play this game. I just don't have a lot of time right now. And so after you read all the lore, you speak again to the bot, and that'll let you go through this hidden wall. I'm gonna help you. Ta-ta. You can pick up a crowbar. Press I on the keyboard. Let's see, crowbar or lightsaber? You know what, this works just as well, right? So this homeless man wants us to take care of some rats. Hiya! Yo, Default, what up? What's up? How you doing, dude? And so we gotta slay some rats. I did get caught on this ladder a bit, but I think you just have to hit it from the right angle. Okay, this rat. So by climbing it, you can jump up here. I would say put like a block here, or I don't know, just so you can consistently get up there. These rats are difficult. But I love this asset. Like design choices. I took a lot of screenshots based on these. But you can see the detail of the shading here. Of where there's like, you know, a rusted metal look. Then you have assets that kind of complement the blocks themselves. And so these are called rat finders. Alright, what happens if I die? I'm already at 4 health. Just kill me. It's going to send me all the way back to the start. But that's right where the sewers begin. And I like this asset too. The texture. I think all of these assets, they are pre-given to Nervex and Iziology. Both of them made this game together. And so what they did is they used those assets to make this experience. So we're killing rats to escape. Oh, they were in the marketplace. Gotcha. It's important to note that, you know, these are published assets, but they don't belong to the public. They belong to Metatron. So, like, when the land is finally playable, it's actually difficult to time this. He has a very fast attack speed. I'm almost dead. But we're out. This sewer grate covers itself. This actually wasn't here last time I played. It was just an open hole. So that looks nice. So the monk says, there's a biker gang throwing garbage everywhere. Be a good spiritual warrior and mess them up. So now I gotta find those thugs and mess them up. And yeah, Toby, I love the style of the metas, you know, the Metatron. And so it's exciting to be able to have more experiences to play. Very fun. Biker leader. He's like, hey, don't talk to us. Okay, well, I died. Apparently a lightsaber isn't good enough against these foes. Parry, parry, slash, hack and slash. And so, yeah, I think they have a fair amount of health. I would say, only have one be, the boss. This guy was the last to survive last time too. But he wasn't, like the boss, the head honcho. So now that we've defeated those, we can go back to this lady. Or monk. And now he wants me to clean up some garbage. Happy to do so. I'm a good spiritual warrior. But I had a lot of fun just jumping around the rooftops. And just collecting all of the various coins. And yes, this was using the RTFK studio, I think. Metatron game, something like that. So these thugs here, I don't want to kill yet. What happened last time I played this was I killed them early, and then later on the game was like, hey, can you go kill some thugs for some cash? Make some cash real quick. So I'm not going to kill anything else right now. Instead, we're going to pick up all the garbage. And now we can go back to Monk, which I believe was right there. Thanks for taking out the trash. And so in doing so, that turns on this elevator, which I had no idea. I don't think he mentioned anything about an elevator either. And so now at the top here, this is where things got, like, I got a little bit stuck. Because talking to him, he mentions, the drugs. But we don't have a reason to get the drugs yet. Instead, I just noticed all of the exclamation points and quests all around the map. So there's plenty to do, plenty to explore. And I won't spoil too much, but we'll just play this for the next couple minutes until my end time, around 10 minutes from now. It's a very beautiful game, fun to explore. So this guy gives us a quest. Only members can get in here. If you can score some Black Lotus, he'll let us in. So this is the drug quest. So now we can go back and talk to that guy at the top of the parking lot. But yeah, Iziology and Nervex, SandFam made this game. So I just talked to that guy, and it completed the quest. Also, we didn't complete the quest, even though I went back and talked to the monk. So you can see I still have this quest active. That says go back to the monk in the garage. We already did. But this isn't finishing that quest. So that might be worth noting, Nervex. Like this should go away. I was able to find 2 of the 3 dragonflies. So that's another quest we received. And so this girl was like, hey, go find my dragonfly artwork. Which was very difficult, I would say. Like, I didn't know where to start. And then I found one, which was like very difficult to find, which is a good thing, I'd say. So, you want to add custom sounds, Halfd0rk. Unfortunately, that is not able yet. So we can't add custom sounds yet. It will be, but I don't know when. There's no hints as to how soon that will be, but a lot of people have asked for it. So the doorman, even though I talked to the drug dealer, it doesn't look like I have the drugs. So this is the part where I got stuck on. Because I think I skipped something. But we can at least explore and see all the other quests and interactables. Oh, it looks like the dragonfly artwork now has a quest marker on it. So that's nice. So that was one of the dragonfly artworks. But here's the top of the dance floor. Nothing up here, so we can move on. Can we go in the movie theater yet? Yeah. The dance floor. Yeah, Tipsy, let's go. So this guy, Skitter, talks about the Black Lotus. And I'm glad we can talk to him again, just in case we didn't read. Got some guys who owe me a bit of skrill. So this is the part where we're supposed to fight thugs for money. And so now we can, you know, hunt down some thugs. I wasn't able to go in here before. Maybe I didn't notice it? Oh, well, I had no health. But this is good. Like, I never got to this part, actually. I never found these thugs. They do have a lot of health, but that's okay. As long as the player has, like, items, equipment, it won't be a problem. Alright, well, this thug can live. I have enough money. Catch you later, Bongali. See you, dude. Of course, Bongali, thank you. I can send you a couple coins, Bongali, because I know you got your account hacked. Never expected to see this. Go check out the DA at the garage. You have fun staring at the void. You earned it. And so, now we're introduced, I think, to the drug dealer. However, I had found him before, and I think that's what I got stuck on. So now we can talk to him. Yeah, I got that Black Lotus. You got that cash? Yo, go check out my twin brother at the arcade. He might have some work for you. Okay, alright, okay. Is that him over there? Nice. So I actually never got this far. Arcade looks fun. Yo, this machine though. Who can play this? The machine's too tall. Yo, twin brother, what up? So my twin sent you over, huh? Yeah, I got a job. Heard there were coins all over the city. If you can find them, you can keep them. Like this one? And that's the third dragon piece. I was looking for that. So I need 20 coins. So I was having fun collecting the coins my first playthrough. Because you put them all in, you know, interesting spots. Look at all these thugs. Get out of here. Get out of here. But yeah, I think that's where we'll end today. So, for those of you that didn't know, the stream will be going live again today, my stream, Dungeons and Dragons, in about 5 hours. So if you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons, you can join me then. Of course, Toby and Nervex, I will be revisiting this. But generally, I like to end my streams around the same time. And if I'm able to, you know, beta test for you, happy to do so. Because this is a great game you've got here, and I loved exploring it. It's, you know, this is the type of game I hope to see more of in the Sandbox. It's like an RPG, kind of open world. So great job, dudes. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Mine? Thanks, the Legion.
Let me give you a hug.
Shameful Deeds! Dropping a gift sub to Toby. Thanks, dude. Well, welcome to Team Green. Thank you, everyone. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. Yo, Kitty Lucifer. Have yourself a nice day. Is anybody streaming right now?
Is it Nick Skull? It is Nick Skull.
It is Nick Skull. Well, nobody else is streaming Sandbox at the moment. Thank you so much, everyone. And yeah, Divine, Caratros, thank you so much. Dark Hera, appreciate the questions today. I wanted to thank my VIPs in particular.
Is it Nick Skull?
It is Nick Skull.
Question.
Oh, Blankos. Sounds good, Sparky. Snaber? What's Snaber streaming? I generally only want to raid Sandboxers, to be honest. But I am going to shout out my VIPs in chat. Go West, Lulalove, Nick Skull, Nervex, Sparky Snickle, and Vivox. Thank you so much.
Emotional damage.
You know, I don't have filters on for anyone that's not speaking English, but it does look like Snaber's streaming. Or Snabber. We should see. It looks like he's streaming Sandbox, so yeah, we should totally raid Snabber. Nani? Let's go hang out with Snabber. He is a Spanish streamer. But we can introduce ourselves. And I think he speaks English too. Oh, it might not be a Sandbox stream? Yeah, that's what I was worried about. He's playing Roblox right now, so I think we're not gonna raid. So again, if you would like to stream Sandbox after me, if you'd like to stream Sandbox around this time, I would love to raid you. But until then, I'll see you next week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I hope, in the future I'll be able to stream more, but for now, we're ending. And later, 5 hours from now, I'll be streaming Dungeons & Dragons, so, pop in, say hi. Have a great day, everybody. See ya.